In every city, there's a place people pretend not to see, a hallway they don't walk down, a door they never ask about. This story is about that place. Apartment 3B, on the 3rd floor of a crumbling building just outside downtown. It's cheap, it's vacant, and nobody stays there long. Because once you move in, it's the walls start talking. This is a story of the haunted apartment nobody wants, and the terrifying truth still trapped inside its walls. Melissa and David had been looking for months. Rent prices were through the roof and their savings were running out. When their realtor showed them a 2-bedroom apartment with high ceilings and sunlight for half the cost of anything nearby, it felt like a miracle. The building was old, built in 1921, cracks in the paint, creaky stairs, but solid bones. The landlord, Mr. Cray, was polite but quiet. He handed over the keys with barely a word. "Just don't mess with the walls," he mumbled. Melissa thought he meant the wallpaper. They moved in on a Saturday. By Monday, things felt off. It started small, soft murmurs at night, like distant conversations just beyond the drywall. Melissa assumed it was the neighbors, but the unit next door was vacant. Then came the knocking, not on the door, on the inside of the walls. 3 short taps, then silence. It happened twice, always between 2 and 3 a.m. One night, Melissa sat alone on the couch while David worked late. The TV was off. The apartment was silent. Then she heard it, a voice whispering, faint, repeating. Melissa, she froze. It came from the wall behind the couch. She pressed her ear to it. "Let me out." They needed answers. David started digging through property records. He found an old article from 1994. A woman named Sylvia Perot had lived in apartment 3B. She'd called emergency services multiple times claiming people were in her walls. Police never found evidence. 2 weeks later, she was found dead in her bathtub. No signs of forced entry. Cause of death? Ruled a suicide, but her autopsy revealed deep scratches on both eardrums, as if she clawed at them from the inside. Melissa found a hidden compartment in the bedroom closet. Inside, an old tape recorder. She pressed play, static, then... They're watching me. They talk when I sleep. They said I'd never leave. That night, they tried to sleep with the lights on. At 2:41 a.m., the lights flickered and shut off. The temperature dropped. The room was silent until the whisper began again. This time, louder, not just from one wall, but all around. Melissa sat up, clutching David's hand. They heard footsteps above them, but they were on the top floor. A shadow crossed their bedroom wall, human-shaped. But there was no one in the room. Then the voice returned. "Why are you here? This is my room." Melissa couldn't take it anymore. She set up a camera facing the bedroom wall and left it recording overnight. The next morning, they watched the footage. At 3:09 a.m., the video glitched. Then, movement. The wallpaper rippled like something pressed from inside. A shadowy outline, a face. They paused the video. 2 eyes, a mouth. That was the last night they spent in apartment 3B. They left in daylight, didn't pack everything, just ran. Melissa never spoke of it again. David moved out of state. The landlord never listed the unit again. Today, apartment 3B still sits empty. The building is under renovation, but that unit remains sealed. No one talks about it. Locals say sometimes when the hallway is quiet, you can hear soft knocking and a whisper. "Let me out." Former tenants have tried to come forward, but their stories vanish. Journalists lose the trail. It's as if the apartment doesn't want to be known. But we remember, because we heard the tape, we saw the footage, and we still wonder who or what is in those walls. They say every place holds energy, the joyful kind, the grieving kind, and sometimes the kind that doesn't leave, the kind that waits, behind pain, behind bricks, behind silence, waiting for someone to listen. So if you ever hear voices when you're alone, if you ever feel watched from an empty wall, you might just be living in a story like this one. And if the whispers call your name, don't answer. Not all voices want to be heard.